Yesterday I was doing an inspection on the underseal I did 4 years ago and just making sure it's all good, and I noticed there was a little flaky patch. So on further inspection I found a hole. So, well, I made the hole really. So I stabbed the hell out of this. I absolutely jabbed the crap out of it, put this through it, put it through there, and then I stabbed it really hard down here. You can actually see where I went down, all the way down, actually just properly just jabbing at it like mad. And all this was solid, all the way down. I mean, it was a bit pitted on the end, and you can see it was clean up here, and all this metal up here was clean anyway. So I was like, right, check the outside, and I noticed there's a few little patches that were starting to flake, and I noticed this pitting here, so I cleaned it up further down, and I spotted this, and then this looked alright, and then I found this bit, and then the rest of that after here, because I cut a bit more out, it was all clean and nice. So I decided to cut it out. As you do, might as well get rid of it all in one go. But so it comes in 3 sections, so you can actually see it there. My phone wants to focus on it. So that middle piece is the main structure of it, and that's like, that comes out and goes out and then round and back up. And then you've got your outer sill, which has this little lip on it, so that actually folds around underneath. See, it folds underneath and it runs that lip all the way along. So that folds around, comes out, goes up, and then goes out round to the body panels. And then this is your inner sill, this bit. So that's just a straight flat piece, and then goes into a C section and up and into the car. But it's about this long, so I just chopped this off. I actually got a little bit carried away. I was under there and I was cutting, and I was like, right, well, I'll just go this far and I'll cut that much off. Whereas I could have probably got away with just going here. But hey, what can you do? The only thing I could presume that's happened, seeing as though the rest of the sill is absolutely perfect, is that within them 4 years, a stone chip or something's come up and got through the actual undercoat, and and compromised it, and then obviously the rust's moved in on this area and slowly worked its way back and creeped along. But back here is all cleaned up, and up front here you can see it's clean. So yeah, just one of those things, I'm afraid. So I've got a couple of sheets of 1.5 and 0.9 steeling from the metal store, so you can get it delivered. I actually got that along with a load of other stuff. I made this anyway, sheet metal bender. Anyway, so I cut a little bit out, because this is the size I was going to originally do it, just enough to cover that. But then I got carried away because I cleaned all this up, and I thought, whilst I'm in here, I might as well just cut it out anyway. Well, the main thing is the outer sill. This is where I cut it to. So I wanted rid of that. So I thought, if I can just cut it all in one go, plus I get rid of all this crusty bit down here, even though it's solid and it's still the thickness it should be. So yeah, so I cut this up. I bent it up in here in my sheet metal bender. I have a video that I haven't posted yet, but it is old, so the price, I think when I made this it was around 30 quid. It was about 30 quid anyway. But I believe, obviously with the prices of metal and stuff over the last couple of years, has gone up through the roof, so I might just have to put a correction in there. But anyway, yeah, so slapped her in here, just like that, boom, bent her up, nice and easy. Went underneath, checked it was the same bend, made it slightly bigger, because obviously you're cutting you're cutting that out, so you want it bigger, so when it takes its place, it takes up that space. Anyway, zinc primer the back, because you're gonna sandwich that between it all. I'm using a 180 mig from Artec with 5% CO2 and argon mix. 0.6 wire, so you can turn it right down, as you can see, look, it's barely even on anything. So having it nice and low, you can really put, you know, a good weld into it and not blow holes. So it's perfect for the nice thin metal. And obviously your 5% argon and CO2 mix is for thinner metals. Your 15% is for your 6 milli and up. You know, it's for thicker metal. Anyway, pull your carpet back, just in case. I'm not welding the floor anyway, but don't want any heat getting there. Cut your sill out. It was the outer sill I saw was a bit crusty, so cut it all out, welded that in. So that's 1.5, the main, there's like a frame underneath, and then this sill on the outside attaches to it, and then your inner sill attaches to it, and it folds round. So yeah, I had to cut that out anyway, so repatch that back in. Just need to fill this gap here. I'll fill that gap, no problem. Yeah, so that's back to its normal strength, and it's in the correct position, because if you see here, that's actually the sill bit here that we're on about. So it's running parallel with that. This will be the inner sill. That'll join onto this bit and go all the way up, fold down. And then the outer sill has the little fold on it. So I've made all that. I'll show you that in a bit. So I'm just hacking away. But this is how you do it. You don't just patch over it and make a arsehole mess of it. Cut it out. You see, this is all solid, this. There's no rust or anything. It's just a little bit, just looks a bit shitty. But after looking at that bit, once I've cut it out, because it was only here, so I could have just cut a tiny little bit out, but I was like, oh look, it's rusty. So I just cut it all out like, you know, like a nugget. But hey, at least it's sorted then. It's the only patch on the whole car, so it needs sorting. That's the outside welded. All went nice. There's a funny little bit here that it reacted with, and then it didn't really like this bit, but the rest went all good. And then let's jump under here if I can get under again. I'm getting too old for doing this shit. And then there's that welded all along. I actually drilled this hole in the wrong place, put it here, but I welded it up and took it back, so I'm gonna just grind that back and job's a good one. Sweet, back to being solid again. And then all I have to do is, I took the original spot welds and how wonky they were, if it's gonna actually focus. I think it's the light. So I'm gonna re-drill, I'm gonna drill through these spot welds and then weld all three pieces together, and then job's good and it'll be solid. Alright, there we are, all spot welded up. Even done some on the back side as well, if we can actually see this bit. Some came right through, so that's all good. Just gonna grind it back, make it look nice as best as I can really, and then I'll show you the finished article. Alright, there's the finished product. Still got all the drainage holes, rebuilt all this. You can see, looks good. Can't quite get in there with a grinder, but plenty of paint going on it. And then there's the underneath. Factory. No edges at all. Even kept this little bit here that they put in. Yep. Cool, nice and easy. I re-drilled this bit and put a spot weld on it, and that's that drainage hole that I rebuilt on the inside. So the only way to really tell is where the join is here. But other than that, brand new. Stone chip's cured, or curing as we speak. Usually takes a good 24 hours or something. I think it's probably been 24 hours maybe. Yeah, it looks spot on that. You can see that I've rebuilt all this and well, like half of it, because I cut, I can't see, halfway through the go there, rebuilt it all. Go underneath. Oh, I'm so sick and tired of rolling around on the floor. And there is the inner sill finished. And it looks mint. Can't go wrong. Oh, God. Got bruises from rolling around on the floor. Yeah. Looks perfect, that.